Hello everyone, this is VJose32 back again with another edition of What's on Deck, your weekly look at what's going on and what is new in the world of playing cards. First of all, a couple of things I wanted to mention. Number one, I now have, as you can see on the screen there, over 7,500 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel, for watching my videos, for following along. You can probably follow me on Twitter and get updated on when new videos are live on my channel. I got tons ready to roll, and you can probably see at the top left of my screen there's more uploading currently, lots more. So anyways, let's get on with it. And what else was I gonna mention? There's that, and oh yeah, there's been some suggestion about changing the format of my videos a little bit. If you got any suggestions, feel free to let me know. I'm always, looking to improve, looking to change. Whether it be a different camera angle, different ratings, no ratings, whatever. Let me know. But for now, I got a couple weeks worth of reviews already recorded, so it won't happen until like end of the month, next month. Anyways, let's move on. Let's check out what's going on in the world of playing cards this week on Kickstarter first. First of all, Bicycle Old Parchment from Collectible Playing Cards. It's funded, well funded. 3 days left. Go check it out if you haven't already done so. It's a pretty nice deck. Also from Collectible Cards and Max Playing Cards is the second edition, the second deck in the Texture series, the Bicycle Wood Rider deck, which has got wood grain, wood theme. Looks really awesome. It's 98% funded, 20 days to go. It's just a matter of time. A couple hours, it could be funded. Next up, Fancy King Essential Deck from Fancy King Playing Cards. That's a relaunch. It's 93% funded, 7 days to go. It looks like it's going to make it, barring any last minute cancellations or issues. I'm not a big fan of this one. There's not a lot to it. There's other decks that I would prefer to see funded that aren't going to fund or may not fund or having difficulty getting funded, and yet this one is getting funded. Not a big fan of that. But moving along, we got a new one to talk about. Horror! Playing Cards from Ace Collectible Cards. More like horror. It's 31% funded, 30 days to go. It was relaunched after. It was actually launched earlier this week, I believe, but there was an issue with shipping for American backers that wasn't supposed to be there, so it was canceled and relaunched. It's getting there. It's about a third of the way, almost a third of the way. I recommend checking it out. Let's check it out right now. Very nice box. It's all about horror, obviously. What is this? All backers will be on the Hall of Fame on their official website as a sincere thank you. That's pretty cool. I should be there. Top of the list. They're going to be printed by Noir Arts Playing Cards and PCC. Here you see the faces. Completely 100% costume. Beautifully done. Custom, not costume. Nice costumes though, but they're 100% custom. Check out that face. He's holding a face in front of her face. That's pretty interesting. For him, I guess. It looks like a girl though. Those are the diamonds, your caskets. Beautifully done. Beautiful colors. The hearts with an actual heart. The clubs. A very nice idea. Ghosts. And they kind of got a ghost color, kind of a grayish color. That's pretty cool. And then these spades. It's a witch. Pretty nice. There's a back design. Very nice, completely custom. Lots of nice details in there. But yet, kind of classic looking. I like it. I highly recommend checking this one out. You won't be disappointed from the looks of it. And it's nice to see something different on Kickstarter and in time for Halloween, pretty much. Although I don't think it's going to be done by Halloween, but you never know. This is his original deck, the Four Seasons. That is also very nice and unique. And he still has some left that you can get on their website, acecollectiblecards.com. And I'm not on the Hall of Fame though. Not yet, anyways, but I should be. So that is that. Definitely go check it out. Next up, we got Gemini playing cards from Rec Room Team, which is Lorenzo Gazziotti, Stockholm 17. It should probably change the name. It's 93% funded, 29 days to go, just a matter of time. Beautiful decks as usual from Lorenzo Gazziotti. He's spent several months working on these. There's 2 decks available. Designed in Sweden. They're going to be produced by Expert Playing Card Company on their classic Finis. And shipped probably by Art of Play, I'm assuming. Or maybe Gambler's Warehouse, I guess. It doesn't matter. They're based on the Gemini zodiac sign, which ironically is the zodiac sign of Caroline Raven, which was the last deck he produced. And he actually put, as a teaser to the zodiac deck, zodiac symbols into that deck. So it's kind of a connection to that deck, which is pretty interesting. Here you see some of the faces, the back design, beautiful. I guess that's the zodiac symbol, and you see it there in the corners. I myself am not a zodiac, I'm a Cancer. In more ways than one, it seems. Beautiful big pips, beautiful big court cards. I love how he used every millimeter of space on these cards for artwork and details and pips. Beautiful axis shades, they're axes, they're really cool. The index is interesting with a pip next to the number or letter instead of underneath it. It still works. Of course, he's done several decks before, the Requiems, the Heretics, the number 17s, the Raven playing cards, and more. There's 3 decks, the Terra, the Ignis, and the Noctis. The Noctis is a stretch goal, it's the blue back one you see here. Currently available, the Terra in the goldish color and the Ignis in the red. We gotta have all 3. Let's get that blue one unlocked. What is this stretch goal anyways? I'm not sure. There's gonna be foil on them. Embossing, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Here you see the axes. That's pretty awesome. Very nice, beautiful. Nice court cards. Nice number cards, very interesting. Massive, massive pips. I haven't seen pips that big since like the actuators from Lance Miller a couple years ago. I mean those are pretty massive. These are pretty massive too. Joker, very nice. I like it. I recommend checking it out. It looks awesome. There's also, I saw this. A keychain slash card guard slash necklace, I guess, if you wanted. Pretty nice. Especially if you're a Zodiac. Look at that. Comes with the key. I like that. Very nice. I recommend checking it out. Let me just see here something. There's stretch goal for a 55th card for Joker at 250,000 SEK, which I believe is the it's a stretch goal. Internal foil in the tuck box at 200,000. The Noctis release at 300,000. It should make it, just a matter of time. A 56th card, a 57th card. That's a lot of cards, and more stretch goals, and more and more and more. Just a matter of time. It's going to hit all these stretch goals, I believe. Moving along. Next up, we got Erie's playing cards from Omnius Midnight Deverines. Really long name. They're from Canada. Yay. 66% funded, 26 days to go. Just a matter of time, I believe. This is a relaunch. A few months ago, they were on Kickstarter, but they had this one-way back design. I think that was it. It was something similar to that. It was a one-way back design nonetheless. And it didn't do so well. Now it is. Now it has a actual mirrored back design. It's a fun little deck, as you can see. Still one way on the faces. Pretty interesting. Looks, you know, really good for Halloween, obviously. Oh, frisky feline. That's interesting. I'll show you the back design if we get to it. These are actually going to be printed by Liberty Playing Cards and fulfilled by Gambler's Warehouse. Not such a big fan of that. Liberty playing cards is okay, but they're really kind of at the bottom of the list for card quality. So it turns me off just a little bit. But I do like the back design is now mirror imaged. Looks better than it was before. And that's that. It's a pretty nice deck nonetheless. Moving along, we got this one's not going to make it. Bicycle Cards 2016 Presidential Portrait Playing Cards by Anatoly Dmitry Nikolov. So we got a Russian creating an American theme deck. Already then. 0% funded, 58 days to go. If you need 2 months to fund, ain't gonna happen. The cards look pretty much like a souvenir deck. It's just pictures of all the American presidents and some monuments from the looks of it. Just copy and paste. Nothing too creative. Nothing too spectacular. I don't even know what the back design looks like as of yet. This one just launched. I mean, it's got some nice information. It looks like it's got some autographs on there. It's a nice little collectible thing. Kind of a souvenir thing. The Jokers. Yes, both political parties in the US. They're both a joke, apparently. The indexes, they don't work for me. You cannot have a number on one side and a pip on the opposite corner. It makes it completely unusable. All images public domain to avoid legal issues. That's a good idea. So I don't get that. Okay, so here he's got the cards. He's got the number on one side, pip on the other side, but up here he's got it standard, which is better. I don't know which way he's doing it. No idea what the back design looks like, unless it's this right here, We the People. I don't know. Early bird, $10. 50 of those available. Actually, 48 out of 50 available. 2 for $15. Late bird, $20 for 1. Wow. Okay, anyways. Wow. $24,000 goal. There is no chance in frickin' hell that is going to happen. It will be a cold day in hell when this one funds. He's going to need a lot of backers, a lot of money. And there's other decks that couldn't even hit $20,000 in the past. I don't think there's any way this one's going to make it. I'm curious to see what else he's created. Space Deck, Out of This World playing cards. Oh, yeah, I remember this project from some time ago. They both failed. One was canceled, one failed. And now he's trying again. Yeah, not going to happen. Moving along, Captive Souls playing cards. Relaunch, which I mentioned last week from Holly Richards. 69% funded, 23 days to go. Looks like it's a matter of time. Calaveras de Azucar from Natalia Silva, funded, 18 days to go. Pretty nice. Untied States, Crown, and Libertas, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned. This is from Ember Waves and Untied States. It's funded, 50 hours to go. It's just more of the same old, same old. I have to wonder how many different decks they're going to do under the Untied States banner with American patriotic themes. It just seems highly repetitive over and over and over. Contours from Ollie Swinyard. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that one last week. 20% funded, 21 days to go. Sadly, does not look like it's going to make it, which is unfortunate because he's got a lot of effort put into it. I do recommend checking it out. Next up, we got Women of the Otherworld playing cards and booklet by Anthony Patterson. 0% funded, 25 days to go. It's going to do so well. Look at this. That is absolutely horrible animation. I mean, it's okay, but it ain't great. It looks very cartoony and not overly lifelike. I mean, I guess it's not horrible, but could be better. It's all about apparently naked women. It's kind of cute, but that's about it. Way too much color on the cards. There's a whole lot of other decks that are better than that, I would say. We don't even know what the back design looks like, and not even so who's producing it. But you can get one for $13. Look at that. There's an uncensored book available as well. Goody. X-rated playing cards. Next up, Rainbow Illusion, 2nd edition from Landry Sanders. Ever so close to funding. 2 hours left. They need less than $400. It's currently 93% funded. Let's get this funded. Actually, by the time this video is uploaded, it'll probably be ended one way or the other. Either cancelled, either funded or not funded. Hopefully it does fund, because it's a very nice deck, as you can see. I've shown it to you before, so I'll move on. But definitely go check it out. Next, Trump Insults, Playing Cards and ebook by Art Glass. 52% funded, 8 days to go. So far, it's failed to hit its funding goal, even though it's not that massive of a goal. Excuse me. So I'm not sure that it will make it. I kind of really hope that it doesn't. It just seems like it's insulting everyone that is opposing Donald Trump, and that's not really cool. That's pretty immature and childish. Moving on, Red Eyes Playing Cards from J. Losa, just launched last Monday. It's 30% funded, 24 days to go. Really slow to fund. I'm not sure it's going to make it at this rate. This is a relaunch. It was originally put on Kickstarter by somebody else, and it did not fund, obviously. And I guess Jay Losa, who previously did the Viva Mexico deck, which is a beautiful deck, decided he liked it and decided he wanted to do it. And actually, here's the original one. It was cancelled midway through because it was not going to make it. And so far, this attempt does not look like it's going to make it either. This is, I don't even know who was producing it, but the name of the creator, but it just says Red Eyes Playing Cards. Anyways, the back design, just a bunch of red eyes. Somewhat reminds me of the Lions decks from Daniel Madison. Oh my god. The Lions decks from that other guy, David Blaine, not Daniel Madison, I apologize. Just a little bit because of the diamonds throughout. The aces are kind of cool. It's interesting that the Ace of Diamonds is the main ace, which is fine. It kind of goes with the back design, but I still prefer the Ace of Spades being the important ace. The court cards I'm not a fan of. They're just completely standard with a little fading or wearing out on them, as you can see. And they're missing eyes. Why? Because this creepy girl on the Joker stole all the eyeballs. Kind of interesting. It's a funny little thing. There's the mystery solved. She's got all the eyes. I just think that it would have been better maybe if the court cards were a little more custom. This is another turnoff, is this weird tuck case, the Prism box, which is not a standard box. It means you can't have the box upright like it's showing here in the picture, the standard one. You have to have it laying down on the back because it's angled. It's weird. The cards obviously will fit in there. It's an interesting idea. I think it's a very interesting idea. You see here, I'm holding the cards, what it looks like. It's kind of a diamond-shaped tuck case. Like I said, it's an interesting idea, but it does make it harder for storage and whatnot, and more susceptible to damage, especially on these ends. They could get folded over accidentally. It's turning off a lot of people, I think, myself included. It's a novel idea, but it's not something that people want. And not only want both, you can get both tuck cases apparently. I don't know. That's that. Let's move on. Strain Wars from Jason Separate, 11% funded, 3 days to go. Not a chance in hell. I mentioned that weeks ago that it was not going to fund. It didn't fund the first time around. It's funding this time. Trump Playing Cards from Grain Thomas, 13% funded, 11 days to go. Not going to happen at this rate. Seems like pretty much any deck that has Trump's name on it turns to shit, which is not a surprise. Contour Electric Blue Playing Cards from Jason Nguyen. I might have mentioned that last week. I probably did. 71% funded, 7 days to go. May or may not make it. He still needs a whole bunch of backers in order to get this funded that he simply does not seem to have. And you can't just make backers out of thin air. So, I mean, personally, I really don't care. I kind of hope it doesn't fund because he's already failed 4 times with that deck. In particular, not to mention every other deck he's released. That's pretty much been a failure. And it's all his fault, really. Athletics Cards from Matthew Dorabayala is 1% funded, 5 hours to go. Not going to happen. It's been doomed from the beginning. Llama Dynasty playing card, as I mentioned last week, from Pity Pravets Paibola. 6% funded, 13 days to go. Not going to happen. It's not. The project's not put together well. Mongol Empire Augmented Reality from C79 Studios. Unfortunately, not going to make it. 24% funded, 3 days to go. It's a pretty big goal. They maybe should have started out with one deck and a smaller goal and worked their way up to the second deck as a stretch goal. That didn't happen. Unfortunately, $20,000 is not going to happen in most cases with playing cards. Unless you're Jackson Robinson or something like that. Most don't have a chance of getting $20,000 unless there's a stretch goal involved. That Hanafuda deck, Battle of Muscles, Balguro, 53% funded, 11 days to go. May or may not make it. It doesn't really matter to me either way. It's an interesting idea, but I personally don't want to see buff guys on my playing cards. Unless there's women involved as well, but there isn't. Master Magician playing cards from Alex Day, who fancies himself as some kind of a Master Magician, but as seen from the videos on his website, he is not. It's 37% funded, 58 hours to go. It's pretty ridiculous that he could not even achieve $200 at his goal, $200 Canadian, and he could not get $200. He's not even halfway there. It's not going to happen unless he has some last minute pledging going on, and I just don't see it happening. It's a very subpar deck with a very simple kind of classic looking back design and not much else to it. Printed by who knows who. Next up, we got Madame Luwena's Crystal Ball Tarot card deck by Yoram Koto. It's 0% funded, 58 days to go. Any project that needs 2 months to fund is probably doomed from the get-go. Looking for $15,000. Yeah, not going to happen. Especially when you look at this. $50 for one deck, one tarot deck. Most tarot decks you can get are like 30, 35, 40 bucks at most, and she wants $50 for one. And look at this. You don't even get to see what the damn deck looks like. You don't know who's producing it. There's absolutely zero information, zero pictures. It is just not worth giving your money for something you don't even know what it's going to look like. You see a couple images here, but those are not even exciting. So moving along, we got Line's Deck of Elements by Line. Apparently Line is an artist. It's 28% funded, 13 days to go. Seems like it's a pretty short project since it just seemed to have launched today. Interesting artwork I'm seeing. Looking for $10,000. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't even know who Line is, but it is his first project. He's looking for $15 for one deck. Each suit apparently represents an element. Diamonds is earth, clubs air, hearts fire, and spades water. I just have to wonder what the hell this is. Is that supposed to be a raindrop, I guess, or water of some sort? Something's going on there. The diamonds is earth. Some kind of an animal. I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely creative. It definitely has some effort put into it. But it's a little bit bizarre, to say the least. I like that each one has a different color. There's going to be 2 jokers. They will be used as wild cards, and 2 special cards that serve a purpose for poker players, whatever that is. Oh, wait. Okay, one is a dealer's cut card. And a dealer button is a yellow card. Okay. They're going to be printed by USPC B card stock. I don't know how his $10,000 is going to cover that. But $15 for one deck seems a bit pricey. $30 for 2 decks. I do not even see a back design here. Oh wait, okay, here's the back design. I guess that's the back design. No, maybe that's a joker. Okay, here are the jokers. They're pretty colorful. A little bit weird. And then you got a dealer button, 2 dealer buttons, and cut cards. I'm still not seeing the back design. That's kind of really important. Unless it's in the video, which I'm not going to watch. But that's kind of weird. And so far, he's backed 1 playing card project. And that's it. Oh wait, there's another one, Deck of Legends, which I'm not even sure if that funded. But basically 1 main deck of cards. And here he's designing a deck of cards. And running a project. Anyways, whatever. I'm not sure it's going to make it. We'll see. We shall see. I'll keep you updated on that. Then there's this one here. Take your pick. Guitar, poker cards, where you can learn how to play guitar. Fruity's cards. It's by Richard Hackett. 49% funded, 26 days to go. It's only a 700-pound goal. Just a matter of time. I think that's the back design you see there for Spade Pippin on a guitar pick. It says guitar player. And each card basically has instructions on how to play guitars. I don't know why. I don't know why you would need that. I mean, just buy a book or something. I mean, the last thing I want is to have to go through a deck of cards to try to learn how to play guitar, I think. His first created project, although I have seen something like this in the past on Kickstarter. There's no other images or information on the deck or who's producing it, so that's a major no-no in my opinion. Moving along. This guy has got something that's a website, but also a Facebook app, which is looking for 30,000 euros. Not a chance in hell. I just wanted to see that one quickly, but that one's not going to happen. It's just weird. There should be a couple more to look at here quickly. Maybe not. Oop. Let's look at the United Cardists of America. Come on. A couple more decks to tell you about, I do believe. I'm trying to make this video not so long. Tank Masters, which you may remember me mentioning before, was cancelled. It was not going to fund. They're looking at relaunching, and they also mentioned there's another deck that they were looking to launch before that. So we'll see what that is. Mirai playing cards, that was funded. Next up, there's this, the 2016 ICO deck. It's a cardistry deck made for this group, International Cardistry Open, by Expert Playing Cards. It's obviously made by cardists for cardists. It looks very colorful, very fun. I can show you a little bit better here at cardify.com. You can check them out for playing card information, obviously, and also maxplayingcards.com. Beautiful colors, they really pop. I like that, and I definitely am interested in getting that and reviewing that. Reminds me a bit of the Virtuoso decks, obviously. It looks pretty cool. I'm not sure who designed it. If it was, I think it was Cardify, but not entirely certain. Actually, sorry, my apologies. I am certain. It was designed by Brendan Hong. I don't know why I'm thinking it was Cardify. Anyways, moving along. So yeah, Tank Master is cancelled. It was not going to fund anyways. Here we have the Hundreds, which is a deck created for this LA-based streetwear and lifestyle company. Apparently going to release sometime this week. I don't know if it has or has not. Standard faces. Not even anything special with the Ace of Spades. One-way back design. Pass. I ain't going to get it. Doesn't appeal to me. Of course, I might have mentioned this one before, coming sometime this month from Alex Chin. of Seasons playing cards. It's the Apothecary. Looks absolutely gorgeous. I look forward to checking it out. Similar yet different to this previous decks, of course. Then there's this one that was available at the Magic Live convention. I might have mentioned it before. Bicycle 25 Years of Magic. Looks pretty nice. I do hope to have one on the way soon. People are cashing in on that. That's fine. Kind of lame, but fine. Seems like some people have to cash in on any deck they can, and that's just not what I'm in collecting playing cards for. Not to cash in on any decks, and not to rip off people, or to get ripped off myself. Bicycle Tomb of Cthulhu, that was funded. One more here I'm going to mention. It is the Undefeated, Bicycle Undefeated, from undefeated.com, which is another fashion website. It looks pretty interesting. It's completely custom, and I probably mentioned it last week. So we'll move on. And then there's this. This is coming soon to Kickstarter, next week, I guess. It says it's Divine Art playing cards, which is Hindu inspired, very beautifully done. As you can see, I'll show you the project page. It's going to be printed by TM Cards in India, which is fitting because it's Hindu inspired. It's made by someone from India, so why not? I will check it out for sure, even though it's not one of the top main card companies. So it'll still be okay, and it'll be different. It's inspired by all sorts of Hindu things, as you can see. There's some of the characters. Very interesting. Court cards and whatnot. Very nicely done. Beautiful back design, as you can see. Interesting number cards. They got all the pips on there, and then they just color in the ones that represent the value. I think that's pretty interesting. They even got extra pips, as you can see with the 10. Very well done. I highly recommend checking it out once it launches, and I'll keep you updated on that next week. So that is that. What's going on in the world of cards this week? I can't think of anything else. Well, there was that Carpra, that new deck from Illusionist that they stopped selling already. Although I'm certain they'll be back sooner than later, probably for Black Friday. But that is that. I can't think of anything else. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Once again, thanks for subscribing to everyone. Check out my sponsor, CollectiblePlayingCards.com. Use the code VGLSAVE32 to save 10% on your order. In fact, we can have a look at that. And so they got a couple of new things to mention very quickly. They have the Superior brand decks and the free main colors. They got the Summer NLC decks, casual playing cards, the Glamour Nugget, Russet Folk Art Special Edition, Bicycle Frost, and much more. By the way, Gluttony, that actually funded. Pretty cool. Actually made it. And that's that. Make sure you check out that Landry Sanders project if it hasn't already ended by the time this video is up. Let's get it funded. See you next time. Thanks for watching. And